Hey guys, welcome back to Sabers Forever. I'm John, and today we're going to be going over the Knight AS2 again. But this time, it's got a master chassis in it. So without further ado, why don't I just show you exactly what's going on. Alright, so this is the Knight AS2. This, as stated in the last video that I did, it's definitely my favorite lightsaber that KR Sabers put out this year. It is so nice. The whole thing is machined out of brass, and it's really user-friendly. This is the Goth Master chassis inside here, so even more brass plus the components to add more weight. This is a pretty hefty saber, but I love the way this feels. It's a 7/8 blade, so when you put a blade in, it's like it doesn't weigh anything. It's like the blade's not really there. Really, really awesome saber. I can't say enough good things about it, so I will try to refrain from just saying how awesome it is all the time. But let's just jump into it. The saber is, as I said, machined out of completely out of brass. You have a removable activation box with a plunger system that actuates the chassis on the inside. To gain access to the chassis, you would unscrew the pommel and just dump your chassis out. Now, I do want to say that I am lucky enough to have two of these here with me, and one is obviously unweathered. This is how the kit comes, and this is completely weathered up, custom job. This one has the 3D printed crystal, and this one has a real quartz crystal. So this is obviously a little bit more of an upgrade, but there is a difference in print tolerance. And what does that mean? The brass actually came out almost identical, but the nylon has some areas on this one that are a little bit bigger in the outer diameter than this one. And I just want to show that real quick. So this guy, as you saw when I put it in and took it out, it just goes right in, dumps right out, no effort. I like that a lot. Somebody else might not. This one goes in, and it'll stop right here, and then need to be pushed in the rest of the way before it'll actually engage. And then also the pommel pushes on the chassis. Now this is the only complaint, is this is obviously a hair shorter, because when this is inside the saber, you can rattle it back and forth and you'll hear it. This one, I'm shaking it, you can't hear anything. So that's only because of print tolerances. And personally, even with this one, when you put the blade into the saber, it pinches the chassis inside and you don't have any issues at all. It doesn't move. So really great design, and it takes into account, print tolerance. So overall, really, really smart, because that little, and I'm talking like 1/2 mil, maybe 1/4 mil, which is weird to say, but that 1/2 millimeter difference in length maybe is the only difference. So really neat. They both are completely finished.
Give me chance of hope. If Master Obi-Wan caught me doing this, he'd be very grumpy.
Yeah, having two chassis for one saber. He'd be super grumpy. So sabers turn on. You have, let me just go over the components. So you have a removable door that's attached with magnets. You have 2 accent neopixels down here, a 28 millimeter speaker, 18650 with battery contacts, high amp kill switch, Proffieboard V2 3.9, 2 tactile switches that are mounted on a PCB. You have 5 neopixels in the plasma gate plus 1 for the crystal. You have a motor for this section which spins. You have 2 accent neopixels here on a PCB, and then the stock NPXL V3. So this thing has everything. I know it doesn't have an OLED screen. I don't know where you would put it, but it doesn't need it. OLEDs are a bit extra in my opinion. They look cool, but there's just not enough customization for them yet. And yeah, They don't need to be on every chassis. So these are great. And these are also sporting kyberphonic fonts. So they're going to be, you know, super accurate. The cool thing about the plasma gate is that it has a ramp up where it goes from cold state, so it gets a little hot by turning orange and red, and then it ramps into a white like it's on. So, and then it does that also when you turn it off. So really cool. Let me get a close up of that. And you can see the motor starts to spin. And then the difference between the two of these also, I did something different with the way the accents are set up. So these are actually mimicking the plasma gate versus this one is actually mimicking the accent LEDs up here. I figured it kind of made it feel more like a tool. Like, you know, it's indicating something. I don't know what, but I really liked the way that came out. I think that's something I'd want if I owned this. So nice. I love all of the work that Rick at Goth 3D Designs did on these. They are absolutely gorgeous and really fun to weather up. They just totally... they hit all the marks for me. So to put this into the Saber, go match up your switches with your activation box, and there's also a track system here for the CoverTech wheel. If you just push that in, lock it in with the pommel, and as I said, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like literally 0.5 mil difference in length, so not a big deal, honestly. So everything still works. Switches line up and everything. And no sound, so I just turned it on without sound. You can't hear the motor. It's awesome. I mean, I can barely hear it in person. I have to like stop breathing. A lot of the time, for those that don't know, motors can tend to squeal, and it adds another frequency to what you're hearing when the Saber's on. This, not an issue. So these are kyberphonic fonts again, and yeah, they really just round out everything. I mean, all the Sabers obviously sound a little different, which is great. I love that aspect, and Jesse just does an absolutely amazing job making sure that he gets it as accurate as possible. It makes my job real easy because I don't have to do it myself. I used to, but anyway. So to turn these off, if it's in the Saber, dump your chassis and turn your kill switch off. Put it back into the Saber and you're good to go. Or you can put it on display next to your Saber. I mean, it's a gorgeous chassis. And yeah, I really enjoyed these a lot. They are super cool and I can't wait to do more. So let's wrap this video here. Alright guys, that does it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to see more awesome installs just like this guy. And if you yourself are looking for an install to get done, I have all of the KR Sabers products available on my website for either commission or sometimes even the ready to ship. Please check that out at sabersforever.com. And also, if you have any inquiries about a Saber that maybe you just can't find on my website, or a blaster, please reach out at john@sabersforever.com and I'd be happy to answer any inquiries that you have. So until the next time, guys, may the Force be with you.